The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time, just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they could let go and make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. You're trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. Have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a Three Cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. 3 cheers for Jackie! Hip, hip! What if everyone goes, no? Not 3 cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip, hip, shut up.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is health. Where you go?
I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse. But it was nice of him to give me a lift. I spent most of the afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths. And then somebody told me and I tucked it back in again. I put on a lot of weight recently, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency. Can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can. We got loads of those. My grief counsellor died recently, but luckily he was so good I didn't give a shit. I accidentally kicked the dog earlier and he bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no. If anything, he's even more angry. I went round to see my nan. I said, what you been up to? She said, weed in the garden. I said, well, at least you didn't shit in it. I was in the garden with my girlfriend earlier, and we saw the 18-year-old girl next door, all dolled up, ready to go out clubbing, and my girlfriend said, do you know what? At that age, I could really see myself in her. Which was weird, because I was thinking the exact same.
Well done, Davey. Point there for Davey. Come on. OK, the next topic is commercials that never made it to air.
I wipe my arse with Colgate. And now, I've got a ring of confidence.
If it tastes like butter and spreads straight from the fridge, you've probably had a power cut.
Condoms, because if she'd sleep with you, she'd sleep with anyone.
Ryanair, because I'm worth shit.
As leader of the Labour Party, I always like to look my best. It's very important to me to have a smooth finish, which is why I use the Mach 4. As I often say, That was a close shave, wasn't it, Gromit?
Frosties, they're all right.
New BG from Garnier. Exfoliates, hydrates, epilates, urinates. Probably not that last one.
Unlimited minutes, unlimited text, unlimited music downloads. Yes, it's our new twat on a train tariff.
Have a break. Have a wank.
Maybe she's born with it. In which case, I probably shouldn't take the piss.
Bekele has to walk for 5 miles every day for fresh water. That's why she ought to be thinking about the new Mazda.
Coco Chanel. Says bloody horrible. I'm sticking to Horlicks.
Lidl, because life didn't work out as you planned.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon, doing an ad on British TV. What happened?
Have you got that bloated, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach? Then try going for a shit.
The DFS furniture sale is not currently on.
This Christmas, get Mock the Week on DVD, featuring all the regulars. Dara O'Brien, and through this week, Andy Parsons, Will, Milton Jones, and of course, don't forget Mickey Flanagan, East End of London, and of course, very good, Chris Allison. Everyone, at the end of the point of Alistair, Hugh and Gary.
Anyone have the correct answer?
Yes. This is Donald Trump, and he's here for a NATO summit.
Absolutely right. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yes, this is US President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania. This is the news that the Trumps visit the UK this week for the 70th anniversary NATO summit held in London. Were you following the summit?
Oh, avidly.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
Everyone was only allowed 4 minutes to speak.
Yes.
Presumably they had a Mock the Week buzzer to...
They did. And then at the end, Nish Kumar came on, they threw bread at it.
I probably had 3 hours at a hotel in Watford, didn't they? And I thought, if anything's going to make you reach for the nuclear button, it's going to be 3 hours in Watford. Staring out the window going, what are we even protecting? You know, the Harlequin shopping centre.
To be fair to Watford, the Harry Potter experience is quite close to Watford, but the only reason they didn't have it there is Boris was worried he'd be mistaken for a fat Malfoy.
I once had the walk from Watford from the train station to the theatre where you do your show there, Watford, and I wrote down 5 different nightclub names because they were all amazing. Watford has, I can't remember all of them, but I remember the one called Prism. With a Y, P-R-Y.
Oh, that's classic.
I mean, Scrabble scores huge on Prism.
Can we all go up for that?
No, I don't like it that much.
The amazing thing is that they had it at Watford, this, like, golf resort hotel, which is just, it's so incongruent. That's, like, one posh thing and one shit thing. I might as well have done it at Monte Carlo Leisure Centre.
It's nice to have it at a golf hotel with Trump there. He's going to be so easily distracted.
It has to be.
With golf right in front of him. It's like trying to have a meeting with David Cameron at a hog roast.
So they've got to have it in Watford. Try getting a table for 29 in London this near Christmas. You got no chance. You have to go to Wagamama's at 9 a.m.
Why are we hosting this? Like,
we're falling apart. We're having a general election.
Yeah.
It's nearly Brexit. The royal family's gone off the rails. Why are we hosting? It's like going to someone's house for Christmas. It's getting boring. She's just, her husband's left her. The boiler's packed up. She won't stop crying. Let's go round there for lunch.
How did tensions affect the schedule for the summit?
Macron said that NATO was brain dead.
Yeah.
Right, and then the Turkish president said, actually, no, it is you who is brain dead. So I'm mad that these are, like, the biggest leaders in the world. And the argument is still, I know you are, but what am I? We're 2 steps away from the Turkish president going, look, we're all being a bit immature. I think the way to solve this is dickhead says what?
They've given the Spanish banks 100 billion euros. I don't think you should be giving Spanish banks 100 billion euros, not given the number of British bank robbers currently living in Spain. Isn't it?
It's not going to arrive in one van.
A lot of it's going to a bank called Bankia, isn't there? It sounds like a bank from a children's programme, doesn't it?
It is difficult to take the economies of countries seriously where the word bank is written as banco. It is generally easier to think that they probably don't do it. Hey, Benvenidos, el banco! Banco, 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 banco.
This accent's all right, is it, Doris?
I'm sorry.
To be honest, Dara, you've been doing a ridiculous accent since the beginning of this series.
No, but Dara, it does help when you go on holiday there, though, doesn't it? Because, you know, even someone like me, I walk along and I go, supermercado. I reckon that's the supermarket. Banco, that'll be the bank. Baro, bar. Got half a chance. You've been to Japan? Nothing. I give you nothing. You walk about, you don't know what you're doing. I was in the bank the other day, this is absolute truth, and a man had a shit on the floor. It was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in my life. He just shook it out.
That is one hell of a deposit that he has made.
He probably normally does all of his banking on the internet, but he couldn't log on that day.
The next topic is America. Who wants to come in on that? Andy.
Well, their president is an idiot. That's all I've got on that one. No, this is the man, right? He wants to try and put a person on Mars by building a stopping-off station on the moon. Now, the moon is 378,000 kilometres away. Mars, 78 million kilometres away. Trying to put a person on Mars by building a stopping-off station on the moon is like going to New Zealand by building a stopping-off station at the end of your bloody garden.
Thank you very much, Andy. The subject is junk food. Russell.
Hello. Am I allowed to take this out? Or do I have to...
Go for it.
Slick. There was an amazing thing the other day. Apparently 15% of 2 to 11-year-olds in England are now obese, and the government's going to ban telly adverts of junk food till 9 o'clock so the kids can't watch. And you find yourself screaming at the telly, if your 2-year-old's obese, that isn't telly's fault, that's your fault. How can you possibly ban the adverts? Ban your fanny until you can look after what plops out of it. That is unbelievable. There's ways and means. My dad invented something, right, to make us eat our dinner. My sister would never eat it. She was like, no, it looks disgusting, Dad, no way to eat it, right? My dad invented something called the dinner witch. So, my sister was like, it looks disgusting. My dad would wink at me. I'd pop outside, ding dong, on the doorbell. My dad would then look into my sister's 8-year-old face and go, oh, Kerry, who could that be? During dinner time, with your plate still so full. And I suppose it could be the dinner witch. At which point, my sister would go, slick.
Comedy gold. Charles Clark. Away you go.
Exactly what I was hoping to get. Charles Clarke, a man who's just been having a go at Gordon Brown, also having a go in the last 6 weeks at Tony Blair. Of course, this was the idiot, ladies and gentlemen, who actually mucked up with the foreign prisoners and deportation. He said he became aware of the problem in July 2005, but he only became fully aware of the problem in October 2005. Now, I don't know about you, if you've got a problem, how long it might take you to go from being aware of the problem to being fully aware of the problem. If it took you more than a day, you'd probably be quite disappointed. If it took you 4 months, you'd have thought he might have resigned straight away. Maybe that's why he's been having a go at Gordon Brown and Tony Blair over the last few weeks. He's only just become fully aware that he's been given the bloody sack.
Protest marches. Who's up first? Any come in and protest?
Yeah.
Russell.
OK. The only protest march I went on the Countryside Alliance March. I'm not pro or anti-fox hunting. I just quite like watching posh people get beaten up. I know it's wrong, but if you can find me a more glorious noise than then I'll happily listen. Come on, it's going to be fun, isn't it? And it's just so much fun baiting right-wing people. What do you think about fox hunting? I'll tell you what I think. If we didn't chase the fox, the entire bloody country would be overpopulated by foxes. Is that what you want, some hideous land of the foxes? Me, unable to leave my house and fear a fox wandering up to me, stabbing me in the gizzards? Is that what you desire? Looking across my lawn to see fox upon fox, prowling along my paddock, flicking the V's at me, walking hand in hand with asylum seekers? Is that what you want?
Very good, Russell. Well done, Russell Howard.
It's transport. Away you go.
Now, we have had bus lanes, we have had cycle lanes, we have a new initiative, combined bus and cycle lanes. What a crap idea that is. If there are two things that should never go together, it would be like having a path in the jungle for walkers and lions. You may also have seen that on our public transport system we now have an advertising campaign. Please ask, is this your bag, to stop unattended packages? Now, quite who you're supposed to ask, is this your bag too, if the package is genuinely unattended. But as I remember rightly, the problem with the London bombings was not with unattended packages. The problem was very much with packages which were fricking attended. You'll hardly like to go up to somebody wearing a rucksack and go, is this your bag?
Well done, Andy Parsons.
OK, the topic is air travel. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do that.
Russell.
My favourite story about air travel, there was a bloke a little while ago who got put in prison for 3 days because he refused to stop kissing his boyfriend on a plane flight to South Africa. How magic's that? You can't help but picture him dressed entirely in latex, you know, surrounded by a sea of Burberry on an EasyJet flight. All right, lads, I'm going to make this tense for you. Ramon, let's do the bad thing. Do you want to stop doing that? I'm trying to read Nuts magazine. Whatever. Stop doing that. It's not natural. You're flying.
Russell Howard, well done.
The next topic is religion. Andy steps to the mic.
Muslims do take their religion very seriously, I think at least in part because they have to pray 5 times a day. Anything you've got to do 5 times a day, you tend to take pretty seriously. We are all supposed to eat 5 fruit and veg every day. Now, we struggle to do that, don't we? Now, imagine you had to eat those 5 fruit and veg at set times every day when some bloke up a tower started wailing fruit and veg at you. At which point you had to start reciting various passages from Delia Smith's healthy cookbook whilst pointing in the direction of Norwich.
Very good, Andy Parsons.
OK, the first subject is street protesters. Can I have a volunteer talk about that?
I'll do that, Dara. Nation. So, I love street protesters, they're fantastic. The best I saw, there's a lovely old lady who, since the war in Iraq started, she stands outside the Bristol Hippodrome with a big sign that says, "Toot if you're anti-war." And if you drive past her and go, "Ha," she does this. Now, I'm not sure, I've made her leap many times. I don't know if I'm anti-war or really pro-pensioner leaping. You know, when you kind of go, "Why am I doing this? Ha, stop it! Ha, do it!" They're everywhere, they're brilliant. There's a bloke that I saw the other day, you know, one of those religious godbotherers, it's fantastic, just with a loud hailer, just pointing at people randomly, "You're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell." Everyone was freaked out, too goth delighted, that's a separate issue, but... He pointed at me and I was freaked out, and then he did something wonderful. He pointed at this really strutting black guy. I don't know why the fact that he's black made it cooler, but it really did, right? Pointed at it, went, "You're going to hell." Without missing a beat, this bloke just went, "No, mate, HMV." And he just sat there going,
Well done, Russell Howard.
It's health. Away you go.
Now, once again, they've been having a go this week, haven't they, about skinny models, saying that they give us a bad body image. Now, I'm not sure we're quite that insecure, are we? You know, I see a skinny model, I don't think, "Oh, I better go on a diet." I think, "Oh, there's a skinny model, I bet they're hungry. I think I'll have a pie."
And it's childhood.
So, I found this out this week, right, that we're giving happiness tests for 6-year-old kids. How ridiculous is that? My friend Wendy's a teacher. Twice a year, there you go. "Are you happy? I've eaten my crayon." Which made me happy, so swings and roundabouts, really. Which I also like. It's just the most ridiculous idea. Some bloke writes, "This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What makes you happy? You! Sneezing. You! I quite like tickling people. You! I like putting marbles up my brother's bum." Now, don't judge me. I did that once. I'm not showing off, but when you're 8 and your little brother's 6, the power you have is incredible. You've got to put some marbles up your bum. Why? If we get enough in there, you turn into a wizard. "Oh, fill me up, fill me up!" I will.
Well done, Russell. The first topic is transport. Andy.
Trains were overcrowded, but of course the train companies, they've got an answer for that, haven't they? What do they say? Well, they say, well, actually, overcrowding is quite a good safety measure, because apparently, during the Cannon Street rail crash, those passengers that were stood up like sardines, they were less badly injured than the ones who were sat down. Now, how can you justify something that's only any good in the event of a crash? And what are you supposed to do if your train isn't very crowded? Are you supposed to stand unnaturally close to people, going, "I'm terribly sorry about this, but in the event of a crash, apparently you're my airbag"?
Well done, Andy Parsons. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against a desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, "Lydia! How would you like it if I banged you against the desk?" It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. "It's disgusting! It's too much!" Like, calm down. Not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, "Look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging." It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? "Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love." "Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree."
Thank you very much. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, hey, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quickly.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. And the topic is joy.
Two very giddy albinos there. Do you know what gives me joy? People who are a bit different. I fell in love with my friend Tom, age 5. He stood up in the middle of a nativity play and went, well, enough's enough. What made it even better, he was the front end of a donkey. I like noises as well. I heard this in a supermarket the other day. Whee! I thought, I'm following that, right? It was an old man skidding on a trolley. He'd done the trolley gauntlet, just whee! Just this blur of giddy wrinkles. What made it even better, a security guard stopped him and went, oi, I've told you. How can that not make me happy? And sometimes we laugh at stuff that we shouldn't. Like, I was in a pub recently, I saw a full-size Jenga topple onto a pissed dwarf. Now, the head says no, the belly says yes! Laugh, Russell! Before the bricks hit his tiny face, he went, bloody hell. A bloke 2 seats along went, that was like 9/11. You're there going, oh, God.
Thank you very much, Russell. Andy, on the topic of smoking.
Yes. Now, the government, they've made a bit of a muck of this smoking ban. Basically, it looks like in England that they're only going to ban smoking in those pubs that serve food. So a lot of pubs in England have said, well, in which case we're going to ban food and keep smoking. You're now going to have to go outside for a pie. You're going to have occasional eaters nipping outside, trying to scrounge a spare lasagna. Of course, people are desperately trying to find out different ways of giving up smoking. You know, various things like acupuncture, of course, where people stick needles into people to make people feel better. As opposed, of course, to voodoo, where people stick needles into things that look like people, make people feel worse. Now, I was wondering, right, if you had a pair of identical twins and one of them had acupuncture, is the other one in a bit of trouble?
And it's etiquette.
I'm quite a socially awkward bloke. Oh, thanks for laughing at just that. I saw a girl on a train recently and she was eating a yoghurt, and for some reason my brain thought it would be a good idea to go, you know, that's very good for thrush. Like, she'd suddenly go, oh, sit down, stranger. I can't help it, I drift in... Like, I was at a museum the other day. Everyone said, don't take photos, and I was taking a photo. A 9-year-old girl arrives, goes, what are you doing? I'm taking a photo. She ran off, I'm off to tell the man. Now, the last thing you want to be doing is chasing a 9-year-old girl across a museum going, don't tell the man, don't tell the man. Added to the fact that when you catch her, you've got to go, I'll delete the photo. That doesn't look good.
Thank you very much, Russell.
I would like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right, I don't wear any clothes in bed. That's all I've got on that one. No, the reason, of course, right, if anybody breaks in, I figure I'm a little more scary in the altogether than I would be if I was wearing my paisley pyjamas. Obviously, I'd be even scarier wearing a gimp mask. Going, I'm so glad you've broken in. I've been looking forward to this moment for many years.
The subject is young people. Russell.
funky, young people. You know, it's depressing being a kid. I saw this the other day, it nearly killed me. It's a kid who was about 8 years old in a cafe with his mum. He went, "Here, Mum, doesn't matter how many of these you eat." He was eating a fun-sized Mars bar. "Doesn't matter how many of these you eat, it never leads to fun." How depressing is that? It's not a happy meal. Life is suffering, Russell. Life is suffering. It shouldn't be like that when you're 8. When you're 8, you should be excited about the world. Can you remember the first time you saw a rainbow? Can you remember the giddy delirium in your mind? You're like, "Dad, there's colours in the sky. I like the sky. I like colours. The two are combined. My mind is literally blown. I need answers, big man. I need answers." Well, that sun is called a rainbow. Oh, my God, it has a name. It has a name. This day can get no better. There's a pot of gold at the end of it. And it's guarded by a tiny leprechaun. Pull over, Dad. Pull over right now. Has anyone ever chased a rainbow? I did. You never forget it. I bet you didn't do this. Me and my little brother took a knife just in case the leprechaun acted up, right?
Thank you very much. The subject is drugs. Who wants to come in with that? Andy.
So, drugs. The Home Office have in fact clarified apparently how many spliffs you can have on your person before you might be regarded as a dealer. Apparently the answer is 500. That's a fair amount of personal use, isn't it? You would have thought you could have 500 almost anything on you and be regarded as a dealer. If I had 500 hobnobs on me, I think you could regard me as pushing biscuits. Not that I know that much about drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently the current trend amongst young people is to have an upper followed straight away by a downer just to take the edge off it. Why not just take a bit less of the upper? That to me would be like having a Red Bull and then having a Horlicks straight away afterwards.
Well done, Andy. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, "Where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was near a minute ago. This is most irregular." And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. His long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, "That'll be my bloody boy!" Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, "Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public?" And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. "Dad, your willy's moving?" You're just there going, "Oh, the world is a better place."
Thank you very much, Russell. It's education.
I am a little disappointed. I was hoping to get England as a topic. But yes, education. You may have seen that, in fact, our kids are now going to get taught atheism in the classroom. You would have thought that should be a fairly short lesson, wouldn't you? Hello, come in. There is no God. Same time next week.
The next topic is the consumer society. Russell.
It's all a bit much, isn't it? I went into a shop the other day that said, "Why not try a guilt-free wrap?" You're like, "Don't make sandwiches evil." Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich, one of the loveliest thing in the world. What is a bacon sandwich? Essentially, it's bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. "I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me?" It's lovely. I was really down about it, and then I saw this wonderful thing that I think could only happen in the West Country. The bloke behind the counter in this shop yawned. The bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, "Ooh, yawn rape," and I nearly died. I had never seen a yawn rate. And now you've learned about it, you can't not do it. You'll be on the bus, you'll see an old yawn rate, you can't help. Did the bloke behind the counter headbutt him? No, he didn't. The bloke behind the counter giggled and went, "It's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it?" And you're sat there going, well, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell.
And the topic is school.
That last bloke was a bit weird, wasn't he? Anyway, I went back to my old school the other day, first time in 30 years. I took a note. Teacher said, "So, Jones, what have you done with your life?" I said, "Oh, I'm just Britain's top Ofsted inspector." They were a lot nicer to me after that. I was there for the funeral of my old science teacher. They asked me to say a few words, so I did. Method. We put the coffin in the crematorium. Observations. It burned with an orangey bright flame. Conclusion. No more homework.
Well done. Pointing out to the Method Jones. Very good. It was the back. There we go.
We play a round called hashtag Wheel of News, hashtag funny, hashtag lol. This game involves Rob, Sarah and Gary. See if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round's a stand-up challenge. I launched a Wheel of News, and whoever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first topic is family. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do it.
Rob.
I went shopping with my nan the other day. She's a very straight-talker, man, very sort of south-east London. And we were doing the shops. I said, "Nan, get yourself some trousers. They're on special." She went, "Nah, it's all right, son. Got enough to see me out." How depressing is that? Basing your fashion choices upon your lifespan. She don't care. She's quite modern. She's on the internet and stuff. She went, "I saw you on YouTube last Tuesday." I was like, "Watch it when you want, Nan. It's not scheduled." And she... Oh, is that a weird fly? Oh. Oh, it's weird, wasn't it?
What's a weird fly?
It's my granddad having a go. I went to visit her recently. Her internet weren't working right. She went, "Can you sort my internet out?" I went, "All right, Nan, show me how you normally log on to internet. I'll see what you're doing wrong and get it done." She went, "What I'll do is I click on the start button." I was like, "Right." She went, "I go into programs." I was like, "Right." She went, "I go into accessories." I'm like, "Well, that's wrong, but carry on." She went, "I go into games." I'm like, "Oh, God." I go into solitaire, play that for a bit, click on the cross, and I double-click on Internet Explorer. And I'm sitting there thinking, you could probably cut out the middleman now. And I was worried that she's at home thinking that she has to play solitaire to get online. I need to send that email, but I cannot face another card game. I'm sick of it. Any sort of, like, internet sort of computer people are thinking, actually, Rob, that is the incorrect route to solitaire on the latest version of Windows. You're correct. But she's on Windows 98. We're not upgrading her. It'll see her out.
Well done, Rob. OK, let's spin the wheel. Somebody is ageing. Who wants to talk about that? Sarah.
OK, so I'm 33 years old, which is where magazines will tell you that a woman has her sexual peak. And I used to think that was a lie, that it was something that they were saying to younger women so they wouldn't be afraid of getting older. Like, oh, yes, you will have a moustache and a slow metabolism, but you'll also be gagging for it all of the time. And now I'm this age and I do believe in it. I basically think your body starts flooding with hormones because you only have so much longer left to have a child, because that's it. I'm 33 and I've never had a baby. I have had a tapeworm. It's not the same. And, but the trouble that I'm having is, so my boyfriend's also my age, and he's experiencing a lot less interest in sex. He's having a sexual slump. Because apparently boys have a sexual peak when they're around 18, and that is not fair. That is a horrible trick that nature has played, because an 18-year-old doesn't want to have sex with me any more than I want people to know that I've done that. And it's not fair. It's not fair, because when I was a teenager, I didn't particularly enjoy or understand sex, yet I had it all of the time, out of politeness, or to stay friends with someone, or say thanks for the lift.
Thank you very much. Well done. Very good. So that leaves us now with Gary. Let's see what you've been at for. Gary, let's spin the wheel. And the topic is shopping. Away you go.
I bought a slimming magazine in W.H. Smith's. I didn't read it, I just wanted a big bar of Galaxy for £1. I bought some fancy pens at a nudist art shop. Felt tips? No, but I touched a couple of bollocks. I was in a lingerie shop. I said, are these knickers satin? He said, no, they're new. I went to buy a Christmas tree. The guy said, you going to put it up yourself? I said, no, I was thinking the living room. Bought a chameleon, lost it. Why is it that when women go to the toilet in pairs, no one minds, but when I did it, I got thrown out the greengrocers? I got into a fight with my acupuncturist and stabbed him. He said he'd never felt better. According to the vet, my cat's in heat. I didn't even know she was famous. A friend of mine keeps going on and on about how good his orthopaedic shoe is, but I think he's built it up too much. I bought an advent calendar for Jehovah's Witnesses, but on every door somebody tells you to fuck off. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. We're at the end of that round. The points go to Gary the ladies. Come on back. Now we play a round called It's Getting Hot in Here, so take out all your jokes. This game involved Tiff and Ramesh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is magazines. Who wants to come in on that?
OK.
Tiff.
As a woman, most of your life is designed to make you feel a little bit shit. And magazines are responsible for that. You know, magazines like OK, which I look at on the shelves and think, when are they going to stop putting people on the front of that who are quite clearly not OK? Magazines will recommend that you have plastic surgery. That seems to be everywhere. Too much plastic surgery these days. I think that's why they've invented emoticons. Right, they're for women who've had too much plastic surgery, so you can just hold up an iPad and say, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel like a smiley poo with eyes. But I think the worst thing that magazines do is they perpetuate trends, really bad trends, right? I don't know how you guys feel about vajazzling. But I genuinely believe it is a plot by religious groups to get gay men interested in vaginas. By making them look like disco balls. I told my mum about the vajazzling, right? I said, Mum, they do this thing now where they put Diamante on your downstairs. And my mum just went, vajazzling? In my day, you were lucky if you gave it a wash.
Thank you very much, Jeff. OK, that leaves us with Ramesh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is parenting.
I'm a parent.
You know, we had our first child, and our first child is such a lovely kid. You know, he always says please and thank you. He's such a wonderful, wonderful little boy. I said to my wife, do you know what? I think we might have mastered parenting. I think it's just about setting clear boundaries and being consistent. The second one, feral. Right. Like, I love him, but what a prick this kid is. Like, I love him, but what an unacceptable human being. Like, I love him, but I don't like him. You know, that's... Like, I'm going to have to say to him one day, you're a mistake. And not, like, in the way that the contraception went wrong. Like, the decision to have you was a mistake. Sometimes I want him to get hurt. There you go, I said it. I said, now, listen. I don't mean really hurt. I don't mean really hurt, I just mean a little bit. You know, because he doesn't listen, this kid. When I say to him, don't do that, dude, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt. And then he does it, and he doesn't get hurt. That pisses me off, right? Because that is life telling him that I'm full of shit. This kid's running with scissors with no consequences. Do you know what I mean?
Very good. At the end of that round, the points go to Tits Everton. Come on back, both of you.
And the first topic is health. Who wants to come out? Nish.
I had a bit of a health emergency last year. I was doing the washing up and I cut my hand. I was washing up and I pushed my hand into a glass. The glass shattered and it slashed my hand here and I had to go to hospital. And let me tell you this, the NHS staff are incredible. They're really nice to me. They're really sweet. One of them called me a brave boy. Which is good because I was being one, so I don't know what you're laughing at, OK? I'm the one with the badge. Anyway, before I did that, I did something which I probably regret doing. I called NHS 111. Now, if you don't know what this service is, it's a service the government has brought in to replace NHS Direct. So if you have a non-life-threatening emergency, you're supposed to dial 111 on your phones. Now, I'm sure that these people are very nice, but based on my experience, they have proportionately less skill than their numerical value compared to 999, because it was the blind leading the blind. At one point, she said, "How is the blood?" And I said, "Red," because I had no idea. Then she said, "Is there a lot of blood?" I said, "Yes," because there was a lot of blood. And she said, "Is there enough to fill a mug?" I've got no idea. I don't wish to brag. I have a lot of different mug sizes in my house. Also, while this was happening, I was just panicking. I wasn't decanting the blood in the hope it would be poured back into my body at a later date. Then she said, "Is the blood flowing or oozing?" I said, "I have no idea what the difference is between those two things is." And she said, "Oh, there's a difference." And I was like, "I'm not getting into a semantic debate with you while blood is gushing out of my hand." And she just went, "Gushing, thank you very much."
Well done, Miss Kumar.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. And the topic is transport.
When I was at school, my bike was smashed up. It was my own fault, really. I just handed out leaflets saying, "Bullying, let's break the cycle." "We've been over this again and again and again," said my driving instructor, pointing to the Badger. Apparently, there is actually a road in the north of England called Quality Street. And there's only one person living in it, and he's both Turkish and delightful. Tricky, isn't it, if you're both a moth and a sea captain? In charge of a ship. But up ahead, you see a lighthouse. You know you shouldn't. Toilets in trains are rubbish, aren't they? Especially the one right at the front, and the bloke in there gets so cross.
The points go to Nish Kumar. Come on back.
First up is language. Who wants to come in with that? Chris.
Language, apparently, was developed by humans to help them during hunting. That's what
people will tell you. I don't buy that. I think language is more likely to have developed spontaneously, probably between a cave couple who were just furious with each other, incandescent with rage, but completely incapable of expressing their emotion, just standing opposite each other in the cave mouth, going until something had to give. And one of them finally snapped and went, "You prick!" And they all went, "Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? Never clean this cave up. This place is a tip." "Well, why didn't you say something before?" "Well, I couldn't, could I?" "You're a pig, you are. My mother warned me about you." "Oh, really? How?" Bantu, the Bantu languages of the southern African peoples, they speak with a system of clicks and tuts, this kind of using the throat and the tongue and constantly surrounded by horses they've no need of. It's a nightmare for them. Bantu for go away horse is... they're screwed, really, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Chris. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is home life. Who wants to come in? Sarah.
My home life involves no children. I don't really like children. And if you ask, most of my female friends don't have kids. If you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids, the answer would always be childbirth. From what I understand of childbirth, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want an extension. But it's bound to change, though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. But I was in a shop recently, and this little boy came running over to me, put his hand in mine and shouted, "Mammy!" And I thought, oh, sometimes forget me keys, but I think I'd remember that. And then his dad came over, and I thought, I wonder if this is the best chat-up line ever. And his dad's going to go, "No, no, that's not your mammy. Remember, your mammy left us because my willy's too big."
Interviews. Who wants to come in that?
OK.
Matt.
Go for that. It's fascinating watching different politicians and how they deal with interviews. Ed Miliband, when he gets asked a question he doesn't like, will just have this amazing technique where he'll just ask himself a new question and answer that instead. And it really works. He got asked before the election by Nick Robinson. Mr Miliband, you've said you'll set a new mansion tax if you become Prime Minister, but you won't yet tell us at what rate you would set it. And Miliband just went, "Look, Nick, if you're asking me, have I got a plan for the housing market, then the answer's yes." It's amazing. Farage is one of the best ones at it, because no matter what you ask him, he'll get a political answer in somewhere. You could say, "Nigel, what you had for breakfast, mate?" And he'd go, "Tea, toast and the Telegraph, Great British breakfast." He always manages to get his messages across. Boris Johnson is fascinating because he just loves avoiding questions, and he uses a twin-track approach of flattery and Latin. And this genuinely works. If he was here now, you could say, "Boris, come on, just admit it. You want to be Prime Minister." And he'd go, "Oh, no, let me just say, great to be here amongst such great learned people on this crucible of culture. Reminds me very much of a phrase my father used to use, divitas, divitum, rectum."
Well done, Matt. Very good. OK, so James is left. Let's see what he's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is Britain.
I wish I was Mexican. Love everything about... I love Mexican food. My favourite place to eat is a Mexican restaurant called Oaxaca. All you need to know about Oaxaca, everyone steals their spoons. So much so that every January, Oaxaca have a spoon amnesty on. You bring back one of the stolen spoons, and then they reward you with free tacos. Genius. Not only do they get their spoons back, they also get to watch while the thieves eat tacos, which I imagine have been interfered with beyond belief. Love Mexican food, love Mexican music. Mariachi music, best music in the world. Top 3 mariachi songs. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, nothing, 'cause there are no other mariachi songs. Ever been to a mariachi nightclub? It's full of people just going up to the DJ like, "Hey man, have you got Yeah, I'll play it next. How about Open your ears, I'm playing it right now." can request that song during the next one. Growing up in school, I was the only kid in my whole school who liked mariachi music. It was a nightmare. I couldn't walk down the corridor without some knob knocking my sombrero off my head, stepping on the back of my poncho on the way in a maths class. Once, a kid wrote Chimichanga Bum Boy across my forehead while I was having my post-lunch siesta. He also drew a moustache on my face, but to be fair, that played into my hands.
Bravo, very good. It's close, but for sticking to the topic, James Acaster gets the points. Well done to both of you. Come on back. The subject is family. Who wants to come in on that? Russ?
So, it wasn't easy growing up trying to be a little liberal kid in the most right-wing family in the whole of my town. My dad was the most right-wing person I knew, but always quick to point out, I'm not racist, but. That was the danger word. I'm not racist, but... Or the latest remix, which is even more innocuous and dangerous. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration, yeah? Isn't it? All right, no one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. I just want to have a sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there, yeah? Me and my brothers, the rest of your family, Mr. Woollam-a-Woollam-along, whatever your bloody name is, mate, yeah? Get in the van, right? My dad even managed to be prejudiced about my first car decision. How do you even achieve that? By British or German. Do not bring Crappanese onto my driveway, boy. Not only that, but I chose a hybrid car. Part electric, part petrol, papa. Right? Another question mark hanging over my sexuality. It's the noise of it when it drove off. Thanks for Sunday lunch. Bye, Daddy. Thank you.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs.
I used to work at a Christian rock festival selling toasties. The best day was when I sold this Jewish bloke some yellow ham. My dad was a dustman. I didn't like him coming to collect us from school, though. Not because I was ashamed he was a dustman, it's just you never knew which day he was going to come. The rest of my family were police marksmen. Apart from my grandfather, he was a bank robber. He died quite recently, surrounded by his family. My uncle, he's a police frogman. No, sorry, he's a French policeman. I used to work in a supermarket. It was my job to hand out samples of things for people to taste. But I was asked to leave after the little cups of bleach incident. After that, I worked in a pathology lab. But I was asked to leave after one of my reports said, cause of death, autopsy.
And the first topic is home life. Nate.
Yeah, I could talk about home life. I still live at home with my mum still. Thanks for the judgmental silence. Yeah, I live at home. My mates give me the most stick for it, because I'm the last one in my group of friends who still lives at home with my mum. They've all moved out, so they see me as a mummy's boy. And every time they see me, they're like, Nathan, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still at your mum's, man? Are you embarrassed? Why are you still at your mum's? Why are you still at your mum's? It's like, I live in West London. Have you seen house prices? I'm not going anywhere, man. If anything, I'm looking at my mum thinking, when are you going to bloody leave? Clinging on, let it go, woman. She's gonna slap the black off me when she sees this. So, yeah, I like peace and quiet. Although, to be honest, at home, I'm not getting a lot of peace and quiet at the moment, mainly because of my mum and my stepdad. They got married quite recently. And I'm happy for my mum. You know, she found happiness. She deserves it. However, at the moment, they're going through that honeymoon phase where they're having sex all the time. Yeah, it is bloody disturbing, man. Because my bedroom is like right next door, so like every time they do it, I hear everything. Like a few Saturdays ago, right? It's late at night, I'm about to go to sleep. From next door, I can hear my stepdad going, "Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh lord, oh lord, say something nasty, say something nasty, say something nasty." So I screamed out, "You're not my real dad!"
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. OK, that leaves us with Ed. Let's see what topic you've been left with. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. Because I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, "Oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal." Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, "Is that man all right?" Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
Well done. Come on back. The next topic is charity. Joe, you know for that?
All this talk of famine makes you a bit peckish, doesn't it? It's comic relief, right? Keep asking me if I'll go out to Africa, you know, to sort of comfort people. But how are they going to feel with me getting off the plane? Hello? You're all hungry, are you? I've had a good dinner. And, you know, there are huge problems to be tackled in Africa. I don't know if you know this, but actually in South Africa, you can insure yourself against getting raped because if you catch the HIV virus, treatment's really expensive. And what's that going to be like? You know, you're walking along, some bloke jumps out from behind a hedge, gets his ghoulies out, and you think, "Oh, Christ, there goes me no claims bonus there."
Sit down, Joe, please.
OK, let's have another topic. Topic is crime. Who's coming in that? John.
The most important thing to remember about crime is that any law only makes sense in context. Look at sport. Punching someone repeatedly in the face is lauded in boxing, but is seriously frowned upon in table tennis. Similarly, if you come out of your corner in a boxing round bouncing a little ball on a bat, it's going to be literally seconds before you're staring at some lights. Furthermore, Moses. Now, there's a man who'd be on pretty much anyone's list of top 5 Jews. But think about it. When he led the children out of Israel, he was technically guilty of 3,000 counts of abducting a minor, bush arson, trespassing, and abducting the sea. And yet he walks free today. There really is no justice.
Well done, John. Very good. Sit down. Leaving us with 2 contestants. 1 topic we'll give you. Fight it out. Straight battle. What's the last topic this week? Jacques Chirac. Europe, let's say. Hugh, do you want to go first?
Britain isn't getting on very well with France at the moment, and it is partially because the French are a bit snooty. For example, take Concorde. Do you know, in the original version of Concorde, the French had their plane built with the front hinged the other way round, so it could turn its nose up when it landed on the But the kind of European integration any of us seem to mind is town twinning. Everybody wants a French, town to twin with. And I didn't know how it happened, actually, until I recently went to Swindon. Met a bloke from Swindon Council. He told me that apparently it's very like getting a teenage pen pal, on the basis that Swindon was getting on very well with Monte Carlo until they sent them a photograph and never heard from them again.
Very good, very good. Well done to you. Give him a round of applause. It is a head-to-head. Al, on the topic of Europe?
Well, of course, what's happened here is the French. The French have voted against Europe and now expect us to cough up for it. It's the classic example of the French attitude. They've lost the plot, basically, completely. I mean, these are people with a town called Brest, and none of them think it's funny. In any other country, a melted cheese would be regarded as a f***up, wouldn't it? They're up to something, aren't they? No, they're up. Well, I'm not done yet. Staying over there with their own customs. The point is, I think... I mean, that Eiffel Tower's a tragic waste of Meccano, isn't it? As a result, French boys have nothing to play with except themselves, and that's how it started, isn't it?
Al, thank you very much. Al Murray, give him a round of applause. Tough to say, I'm giving it to Hugh, I'm giving it that side. Sit down, both of you.
The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time, just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they can let go, make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. And trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. You have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a free cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. Free cheers for Jackie! Hip, hip! What if everyone goes, no? Not free cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip, hip, shut up.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is health. Where you go?
I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse. But it was nice of him to give me a lift. Now, I spent most of the afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths. And then somebody told me and I tucked it back in again. I put on a lot of weight recently, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency. Can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can. We got loads of those. My grief counsellor died recently, but luckily he was so good I didn't give a shit. I accidentally kicked the dog earlier and he bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no. If anything, he's even more angry. I asked the vet, what can I do? I think my dog's racist. He keeps barking at the Asian man next door. And the vet said, muzzle him. I said, I don't know, but he's got a beard. I went round to see my nan. I said, what you been up to? She said, weed in the garden. I said, well, at least you didn't shit in it. I was in the garden with my girlfriend earlier, and we saw the 18-year-old girl next door, all dolled up, ready to go out clubbing, and my girlfriend said, do you know what? At that age, I could really see myself in her. Which was weird, because I was thinking the exact same.
Thank you very much. Well done, Davey. Point there for Davey. Come on. Okay, here we go. The first subject is unlikely lines from a children's book.
Mr. Stubborn wouldn't leave. He was the elected leader of the Labour Party.
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow you, Keith Vaz.
As Noddy looked at his new friends, Rampant Rabbit and Linda the Love Egg, he realised he was in a very different kind of toy town.
And all the animals of Buttercup Farm celebrated because Percy Pig was going to the slaughterhouse and they never had to listen to that whiny little bastard again.
And the beautiful woman was cursed to sleep for 100 years. And that's your defence, is it, Mr. Cosby?
She didn't do it. Don't boo her.
I'm Paddington Bear from Peru, said Paddington. And if you show me where the toilet is, I'll poo out this condom of cocaine.
It's the absolutely horrific follow-up to Netflix and Chill. Swallows and Amazons.
And was there a happy ending? Well, the prince did love massage parlours.
I will never tell you my name. You will have to guess my name, said Rumpelstiltskin, really holding up the queue at Starbucks.
From under the bridge came the voice of the troll. Where? Women can't be Ghostbusters, send!
Every day, Jack and Jill have to walk up a hill to fetch just one pail of water. But for just £5 a month...
Oh, it wasn't a giant peach after all, thought James, as he watched the big friendly giant put on his swimming trunks.
He pushed aside the clothes and there, at the back of the wardrobe, found a magical land of nipple clamps and lube.
There's an Indian in the cupboard. I think he's hiding from UKIP.
Oh, well, come on, that's unfair. I've been in this cupboard for bloody ages.
What do you want for Christmas this year?
I don't know. I don't want anything for Christmas.
Hand drop off an elf.
You get the number one gift apparently for kids this year?
Nerf guns.
The Nerf gun is 64 quid. And you could go to America and buy a gun for less than that.
Actually, it's like it's a ludicrously scary thing, the Nerf gun. This is the current...
Point that there. Hey! Point that over somewhere else.
I promise I'll do really, really careful. I wouldn't dream of doing that to you. Of all the people here, you were the last person that I would fire the... Boom! Hang on. Oh, yeah, there's three things you can do, right? You can do this big one here.
Whoa.
Right?
Listen, Nerf is how I did this to my eyes. So I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
OK, cool. I'll get him instead. Right, OK, Grant. Are we OK to sacrifice you for this? And then you can do these
I guess so.
You can catch
I'm fairly
your
certain
teeth,
there's an instruction manual that says do not aim at people's faces.
Yeah,
Please
there
remember
is,
that I
yeah,
am a
there
special
is.
man with special powers and do not try this at home.
How far will it get? How far do you think it'll get?
I don't know, but if he hits any of you, sue the shit out of you. All that money they're saving on Bake Off now can go to you.
Can you get to the back? I mean, because this is... I feel it can be unnecessarily powerful, this thing.
Yeah.
Right, OK, so let's decide
Yes,
the back.
I certainly feel that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, now. Good catch. Well done. Respect. That is, I'm estimating 7 gardens away.
So you asked, what do you want for Christmas? So you could then shoot us.
Why would you want to be given clothes as a Christmas present in Iceland?
Because it's really cold.
It's freezing there.
It's a land of ice, Dara!
Is it because you can take them back and get the money back in exchange for the clothes?
No, it's not that perfectly practical good reason to get clothes. Yeah.
Because clothes is just a good present wherever you are.
Oh, God, yes, I know. OK, the question...
Is it because people don't have
I'm sorry,
clothes?
are you getting exasperated at us, trying to think of humorous answers to ridiculous questions that you're posing? Should we just try our hardest to come up with the correct answer? Would that slightly miss the point of a comedy quiz?
No. Is it because normally they sell frozen food?
The reason you should be given clothes as a Christmas present is to stop you getting eaten by the Yule cat. Yule Kuterin.
I wonder why you didn't get the QI presented. There's got to be one show you don't present, doesn't
There
there?
has to be, yeah. Potentially, yeah. What might you expect to eat at Christmas in Japan?
Food.
Yes.
Sushi.
No.
Sashimi.
No. Don't just name all Japanese things you can think of.
Wagamamas.
No. A bucket of...
Eels.
No.
Turkey.
That's not a clue.
It's a really good clue. A bucket
Fried chicken.
Of fried chicken.
Is it fried chicken?
It's fried chicken, Nish. Not just any fried chicken.
Kentucky Fried
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Since 1974, KFC has marketed itself in Japan as a Christmas food.
Oh, very clever.
With the advertising phrase, Kentucky for Christmas. That's... Look.
I beg your pardon. Say that again.
Kentucky for Christmas.
Unlikely things to read on a packet.
Ragu sauce. If you gave this to someone who is actually from Italy, they'd punch you in the face.
To open, push down tab, break tab, swear repeatedly, stab with a pair of scissors!
Serves 4, you greedy bastard. Now put some of that back.
Viagra are proud sponsors of Andy Murray, for people who can only ever achieve a semi.
Bag may also be used for autoerotic asphyxiation.
Fair trade coffee. If you don't like it, you're racist.
Sunny Delight counts towards your 5 a day as -2.
To stop diarrhea, take 1 teaspoon and shove it up your arse.
Adults and children over 12 years. Try not to get those two mixed up.
Cup of soup. Just add soup.
Best before date, Rohypnol.
Serving suggestion. On a plate, you thick moron.
We use only the very cheapest horse meat to make fuck it, it's just a cat.
Get that round of applause to Frankie, Hugh and Tom.
The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a news programme.
As I report from my 6th day here in war-torn Syria, I think the lesson learned is that I should never have called my producer a wanker.
According to statistics, the French economy is now the weakest growing of all the economies in Europe.
Sport now. All Manchester United fans, please look away.
You've reached Al Jazeera News, which means you're only 20 channels away from actually finding porn.
Here, you'll never guess who's dead.
Just time now to see what the papers say.
We will now attempt to talk to the survivors of the cliff fall. You all right, mate?
After the fire in the aromatherapy candle factory, the situation is now calm.
And now over to our foreign correspondent. Do you speak English?
Now it's time for the news near you.
Hello!
There are human remains on the blood-stained streets and the despair in the eyes of everyone you meet. Rob Beckett for BBC News, Magaluf.
There continues to be heavy shelling here. Ramesh Ranganathan at the peanut factory.
Now it's over to our toys and games correspondent, Natasha Kaplunksky.
And eventually the sun will go supernova, the earth will become dark and frozen, and everyone will die. That was the long-range weather forecast.
To my right, in my peripheral vision, Andy Parsons is showing us his penis. More on that as it unfolds.
We go over now to our vegan correspondent. I'm terribly sorry. He appears to have gone strawberry.
And David Cameron has delivered on all his promises to the Scottish people.
Just time for a quick look at tomorrow's papers. So the Times and the Telegraph lead with industrial strife, and in the Sun we can see that Caroline from Dagenham has got a terrific pair of norks.
OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is race. Who wants to come on that?
I remember that day. The Interracial Arm Wrestling World Championships. I'm a white man. Thank you. I'm a white man, which means that a lot of people hate me these days. But I'm a white man, so it doesn't matter. It's the same. Not just that, I'm a young, white, middle-class, straight man. In the game of life, that is what's called a royal flush. I hit the jackpot, OK? I got lucky as shit, so everyone thinks my life is easy. Everyone thinks I've got it simple, but that's because they don't know my struggle, OK? My day-to-day, the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. Do you know how often I'm sat in a coffee shop and someone asks me to watch their laptop for them? Just let me live my life! Yes, I am trustworthy, but don't assume that based on my appearance, OK? That is still discrimination. And yes, in this Cafe Nero, surrounded by all these mums, I'm unlikely to steal your Dell computer when I'm clearly already using a MacBook Pro. A superior laptop. But don't get too relaxed. I could just easily steal that Dell and repurpose it as a gift for someone I don't respect. Hard part for me about being those 5 things, that royal flush, is being a comedian. That's the hard part, because you're constantly told art comes from pain, right? To make great art, you got to experience pain along the way in childhood or whatever, then harness that pain, turn it into art down the line. But I don't know the meaning of the word pain. I've never experienced any true pain. First time I even saw the word pain, I was in a patisserie.
Unlikely things to hear on a motoring programme.
Listen to that deep, throaty roar of the man I've just run over.
George Michael says he's never driven a car that's handled so well on the pavement.
Now, I would describe this car as being very nippy, but apparently I'm not allowed to say that. I have to say it's made in Japan.
I'm about to shag a bloke. Welcome to Ride My Pimp.
Women everywhere have come together to announce their favourite car. It's the red one.
This car has a fail-safe anti-theft device. It's a Vauxhall Corsa.
First, second, third, fourth, yes, all my wives have divorced me because I'm such a twat about cars.
It's just a car, innit? It gives a shit.
Thank you. This car is actually owned by Jeremy Clarkson, which is why I'm running my key along it now.
My first impression is that the dashboard layout is actually quite unorthodox and very minimalist. There doesn't seem to be a steering... actually, I'm sitting in the back.
Ah, it still has that new hitchhiker smell.
I don't know about you, but I think it'd be quite nice to walk today.
These sounds have been surprisingly low for the new Renault Bell End.
This car has been modified for the American market. It's got 6 cup holders, a sandwich stand and a small rotisserie attached to the dashboard.
This week on Top Gear, we're going to be talking about some penises. Cars! We're talking about cars! Cars! Oh, cars!
This car's personalised management system remembers who you are and how you drive. This morning, it locked me out and told me to fuck off.
Well done, again, that's the point to the end. Catherine and Andy.
Welcome to this year's Christmas quiz. Yes. I know. We have... Oh, wait, sorry, hang on. I need to make it more special. Hang on, there. How's that? That's good, isn't it? Wait, does that...
I like
that's
the
not gonna
shoes.
last. The shoes are good, aren't they? And this, I spent ages on this. This is... There we go.
Looks
Look
like
at that.
wraps of heroin stuck on his drink.
Always a very happy Christmas around my house. Thank you very much.
What have you got in your stocking? A spoon and a lighter?
OK, here's the question. In Catalonia, in Spain, nativity scenes often feature a rogue figure who is doing what?
Having a kip?
No.
Imagine if that was
Drawing
correct.
a moustache on the sleeping baby Jesus.
No, but that would be quite great.
Bullfighting.
Not bullfighting, no.
Spain, innit?
Yeah, but not in the middle of the nativity scene. Is not in Spain. They do accept that that's not happening in Spain.
Is he holding people hostage and arguing for Catalan independence?
He's not. He's not doing that, no. Although
Is he doing a little poo?
Yes, he's doing a poo. Well done, Rob. You're absolutely right. Give Rob a round of applause. Well done, Rob. Thank you.
The great thing about that is Rob has tried to answer a question like that for many years.
Yeah,
that's
finally.
the first one he's got right.
That's my default answer is he doing a poo? And that's the only time it's worked out.
He dates back to the early 18th century. He's the shitter he's known. He's supposed to he symbolises fertilising the ground, and he's in the nativity scene, the corner of the nativity scene.
I thought that I had a bad role in my school nativity play. That is the one you don't want to draw, isn't
Not
it?
again. Can I at least be an angel this time?
Has anybody noticed Dara's eye, by the way? Is it off-putting? Do you think the people at home will be concerned? What has happened?
I do. There's just a little sty in there. It's just got infected. So
Is that really it?
No, it's a.
Has Brian Cox been beating you again?
Look into the telescope. He said, "Look hard into the telescope," and he bruised my eye ramming it in. Shit. Go on. Look at that. That'll hurt you. That's my good eye, Brian. That's my good eye.
It's just trying to turn you into Patrick Moore.
They're so worried they get me an eye patch. That like this would be much more subtle if I played that. I presented the entire show like that because I've got a tiny infection in the eye. To be fair, I have a secret desire to have an eye patch. You know, I don't want to ever lose an eye. That's not how much I want to have an eye patch, but I think they're cool. It's something massively impressive because a guy with an eye patch, shit has happened. Because also you can do this. Sexy. The final part of undressing in a sexy way would be to take off the eye patch and what?
You take my eye out.
What unusual present might people be giving this Christmas? Oh.
Dead seagull?
Have you ruined the surprise?
You were the worst Secret Santa ever. Time. For God's sake, kill it.
I think it's actually sperm.
It is
isn't
sperm. Yes, it is sperm. Yeah.
But this
Not an unusual gift. Horrific return policy. Not interested.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Ellis, what category would you like?
Could I have home news, please?
Absolutely. Home news it is. The answer is 18 billion. What is the question?
Is it the amount of times I'll check my phone when I'm watching a friend's band?
Is it how many times happier is Jennifer Aniston than she was this time last week?
Yeah! Playing the long game, Aniston. Is it how many hours tutoring would Rob need to get into grammar school?
It's not very nice, is it?
You pass for 11, though. You have the kind of a...
Oh, yeah, I could do grammar school if I wanted, mate, but, you know, why knock about learning when you could just turn up and do this?
How many fridge magnets can you put on a fridge before it topples over?
Is it how many times have I been told it's inappropriate to refer to myself as White Kanye? It's not, but I like it as a nickname.
I think there are 2 answers to this, Dara.
Yes.
It is, what is Google's annual income before tax? And what is Google's annual income after tax?
Yeah.
Is it the amount of times we've discussed Brexit on this show?
It was rather a big news story, Rob, to be fair.
I know, but keep going on about it. Can't we just do this and not talk about the news? Just for 1 week, just have a chat. And just see how we all are inside, because we've got problems. I've got stuff going on, mate. I can't be bothered with Europe. I can't even sort my own house out. The kitchen's falling apart. I've got people talking to me about tiles. I don't know what tiles I want. And it's hard work. I've got gravel outside the house, and every time I come in, some comes in off my shoes. You can't hoover it, you can't sweep it, it's just always there. And now you go to Article 50. I don't give a fuck!
Do you get like this? Why not? Take momentum.
Is it how many virgins watch Robot Wars?
Okay, I know this.
Attack him, Carbide!
The correct answer is... How much Monopoly money was I fined for swallowing the tiny silver dog?
It's actually to do with the nuclear power station at Hinkley Point, isn't it?
Yes, and what?
It is how many fingers will the average child have if they're born near Hinkley Point?
It's so close.
It's in Somerset, mate. It's going to make very little difference.
A lot of oohs tonight.
Yeah,
That's not fair.
oohing.
This power plant is going to bring Somerset into the 20th century, mate. You watch.
The full answer is how much will it cost to build the new nuclear reactor Hinkley C in Somerset?
Absolutely right. Thank you very much, you dad. Now we play a round called Mocky McMockface. This game involves Miles and Milton, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is travel. Miles.
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with trains. It's the quiet coach, OK? Quiet, that is an adjective. It doesn't go far enough. Quiet is an adjective. It should be called the silent coach. Shouldn't it? The silent coach. No one would have any trouble understanding that. It's the silent coach, right? You can't talk on it, you can't use your laptop, children can't travel on it, you can't eat crisps, and crucially, the train people, they wouldn't be allowed to make announcements. Because the sort of people that have the mentality to travel on the quiet coach, which is the correct mentality, are the sort of people who check where the train is going before they bloody get on it. For years, we've just not got these things right. Mock the Week audience, you're exactly the sort of people that know what I'm talking about. In Russia, during the revolution, right? During the Russian Revolution, the Russian army was able to travel to all of its battles by train. During a revolution, they were still able to rely on public transport. Imagine if we had a revolution now and the army had to rely on transport, we'd be buggered, wouldn't we? Certainly those of us who wanted the army to win. Absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Marston Moor 2016 kicked off. You know, the British Army turning up 7 hours late to every single conflict. Oh, sorry, there were leaves on the line at Stevenage. There was a passenger action at Crewe. We were going to be joined by the SAS, but they've been stuck on a rail replacement bus service in Horrified.
Thank you very much, Miles. OK, now leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And subject is music.
We don't know much about Galileo. He was a poor boy from a poor family. I live in a Grade 2 listed building, which of course means that everyone in it has to be quite good at the piano. Apparently all Chinese children who are learning to play the piano know a tune called Knife and Fork. I'd like to take the band ABBA out for lunch, and if I could, I would, my friend. For Nando's. When I was at school and it rained, we used to have to stay in for wet play. And when it was cold, we used to have to stay in and listen to this really dull band. AD 79. Julius Caesar receives the first ever weather forecast. Hail Caesar.
Thank you very much. Points there go to Better Jones. Come on.
Okay, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Hi, is that NHS Direct? Yeah, a bit of a temperature and I've got an alien coming out of my stomach. 2 paracetamol, OK.
OK, Mr. Zulu. Set course for the 4th quadrant to the Orion Nebula. I think there's a Nando's there.
We're sorry to announce that there is a replacement beam down service this weekend between the ship and the planet Splooge.
You've got to imagine this in a Scottish accent. This is our Independence Day. There you go.
They abducted us and took us to their spacecraft, and then they explored our bodies with strange probes. I'll be honest, it was the best stag night I'd ever been on.
This man can now reach the full potential of his brain. Joey, wake up. You can tie your shoes. Reem.
What the people don't know, Captain Kirk, is that when I do that V thing, that means in Vulcan, I've had your mum.
I think this time tunnel is broken. We have gone 1,000 years into the future and Bruce Forsyth is still working.
If you take the red pill, you will enter the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, you will have a boner for 7 hours.
This is it. The machines are taking over. Hashtag apocalypse.
Yeah, I've had a look at it, mate. The problem is your nano boosters are shot and your warp drive is fucked.
Our planet is dying. We seek a new home. Which of you is Phil and which of you is Kirsty?
The dinosaurs are killing everyone. Why do we keep reopening this park? Who keeps giving us public liability insurance?
So the plan is you get in the time machine, go back in time, and cock-block Hitler's dad.
Phone home. Phone in Joan. No, phone home.
OK, at the end of that, the points go to Matt, Catherine and Andy.
Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
I cannot hold her, Captain! I cannot hold her! Oh, no, hang on. I'll put her in the cup holder until she cools down.
Luke, I am your father. I think your mum went for about 3 stormtroopers before me.
Good news, Lord Vader. The rebels have voted 55 to 45 to stay within the Empire.
I am Thor.
protector of Asgard, god of thunder, and I have lost my hammer. Prick hell, where in this Wix can I buy a new one?
Nobody puts baby in a coma.
Is it raining? I hadn't noticed. And now over to Stuart with the sport.
You're right, Frodo. This is an unexpected journey. We're on a replacement bus service.
You know what? I never liked Private Ryan. I say fuck him.
In a dystopian future, one lone man emerges intent on destruction. For more on the budget, tune in to Newsnight at 10.
Say hello to my little friend. This is Warwick Davis.
I see dead people all the time. I work at Dignitas.
In all the Weatherspoons in all the world, he had to walk into mine. Tall fella, answered to the name of Dara, said I'd recognize him from the back of a megabus.
This is the furthest outreaches of the universe, Alpha Centauri. How did they get to host the World Cup?
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? It's just very difficult to tell you've got a lazy eye.
I'm afraid it's bad news, Dumbledore. The Ofsted inspectors have arrived.
They brought the dinosaurs back to life. Welcome to the best exotic Marigold Hotel.
What's wrong, Batman? Well, Robin's dead. Catwoman just dragged him in and tore his guts out and left him at the foot of me bed.
Ant-Man! It's me, Deckman!
Likely lines from a thriller.
Boss, I've got some news about the criminal who's been impersonating Sting. He's turned himself into the police.
We've got to get out before it goes off. Oh, no, I've misread the sell-by date. We've got another week.
Yes, my name is Pussy Galore. Yeah, obviously it's a code name. My real name? Oh, it's Fanny Everywhere.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery! You, in the Game of Thrones T-shirt, what did I just say about being cool?
Strapped to a railway line. Thank God it's southern. I've got 6 hours to escape.
Whoever you are, I will find you and I will kill you. Now, can you tell me your postcode so I can pop it in the sat-nav?
Mr. Brown, meet Mr. White. I really should learn these diplomats' names.
You can beat me as much as you like, but I can't tell you where he is. So it's all set up. No one knows where Wally is.
Go, leave me behind. I love you, that's why I'm saying this. Go ahead without me. You only get one chance to play the Crystal Maze.
Oh, I'm so angry about all these people observing Ramadan. Nigel Farage stars in The Fast and the Furious.
It's male, 30 to 35, Caucasian, no obvious sign of trauma. Oh, no, wait, the head should be attached to the body, shouldn't it?
Right, we was going down to see the match with some of the lads, and some blokes got killed, didn't he? Yeah, it was murder on the Leyton Orient Express.
Oh, my God. You're the Zodiac Killer. Before you do it, I'm a Libra. Just let me know what I've got coming up.
This elevator company is corrupt, and I think it goes all the way to the top.
You can kill me, but if you do, you will never find the sarin gas canister I have placed in the president's fridge. Shit.
You try to expose corruption in my elevator company, you're going down.
This round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories relating to current events. For each category, I read out an answer, and the players have to guess what the question might be. David, do you want to choose?
Yeah, can I have the environment, please?
OK, the category is the environment. The answer is between 19 and 23. What is the question?
Is it where the postman puts mail for number 27?
What percentage of the vote constitutes a great result for the Liberal Democrats?
Is it how much Wayne Rooney will weigh in stone 2 months after he retires?
Is it, where are the numbers 20, 21 and 22? Or, if you're Peter Stringfellow, how old is too old?
Is it the number of times I'd listened to the Coldplay LP before slipping into a fatal coma?
Is it how many people actually care about the environment? I mean, actually, genuinely care. Don't say they care, but actually care about it.
At a gut level.
Well, let's face it, we all have far bigger and more tropical fish to fry. Greenpeace constantly thump on about how we must save this planet for our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children. But hold on, what if they don't have any children? Now, they might not want children. Let's not spend what is quite a lot of money on hypothetical children. Also, I know kids, they like bikes. They like shiny red bikes. I promise you, you show a kid a clean rural stream and a shiny bike, and I'll show you a kid sitting on a bike whilst pissing in a stream. Are they not the future? So, you spray on.
Is it the number of English counties likely to be underwater in 100 years' time?
It's, yes, indeed. It's very, very close to that. Yes, it's very, very close to
Jesus Christ! That's terrible! That was less a joke, more an alarming fact.
I thought it was something ridiculously awful, but it's going to happen. Oh, well. Night-night, my children's children. You can ride around on the bike in smaller and smaller circles on a vanishing piece of land.
To be honest, Dara, in Scotland we have mixed feelings about global warming because we will get to sit on the mountains and watch the English drown. More pineapple, Huey!
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a survival show.
This is the most terrifying animal you can see in the wild. It has the body of Posh Spice.
Of course, if you're on an expedition, you must always make sure you boil all the water. Now, this can really slow you down if you come to a lake.
It's been 17 days since my last proper meal, and I am beach body ready, bitches.
Bear, are you related to George Foreman grills?
I've not had a bath for days on end. And that's because Rob Beckett's dad is in there.
There is barely any water here, so we've been collecting our urine. But this morning, some of it was gone, and that is taking the piss.
Spent 3 days in the jungle with nothing to eat but raw caterpillars. I remember the moment I walked back into civilization. Whew, there are a few butterflies in my stomach, I can tell you.
When I was thirsty, I was forced to drink my own urine. I'm now hungry and dreading dinner.
And when you're in the wild, you've got to remember what you learn at Scouts. Don't tell anyone our little secret.
Well, night is falling, it's raining, and I'm in the shelter, but it still feels dangerous here. There are 6 teenagers staring at me, and the bus doesn't arrive for 20 minutes.
If you suddenly see a bear extremely close to you, the best thing to do, stand stock still. Pull down your trousers and just let it have sex with you.
On the men's island, Derek's drinking coconut water because Derek's a hipster twat.
After 3 months totally alone on the island, it's amazing that John hasn't gone mad. Isn't that right, John? Yeah, it is, yeah.
So, I've managed to make a raft to escape the island by smashing up some boats.
Okay. The next topic is unlikely things to hear over a tannoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Waitrose, you smug, rich pricks.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Would somebody please go to the power tools aisle and get me a drill?
If you see an unattended bag, please don't report it. Remember, you're in world of luggage.
Good evening, ladies. Topshop will be closing in 5 minutes. Please make your way to the till unless you're over 30, in which case piss off to M&S, you ancient old hag.
This is an announcement for the front desk of the swimming baths. Could doctor someone's done a shit in the pool? Please come to reception.
Would the couple having sex in aisle 2 please stop? Spillage in aisle 2.
The 1625 has unfortunately been cancelled and has been replaced by a replacement bus service. EasyJet would like to apologise for all passengers who are going to Greece.
I only work in the post office for the crumpet. Watch this. Widow number 2, please.
In tonight's performance of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the part of the child catcher will be played by a 1970s TV presenter.
Welcome to Sexist Airways. I'm just going to pop on the seatbelt sign for a moment because we're swapping to a lady pilot.
We are now coming into land in Russia, where the local time is 1956.
Welcome aboard the one-way saga service special to Switzerland. Just trying to have a laugh.
Attention to the submarine crew of HMS Nando's. Be careful not to burn your eyes on the periscope.
Lost children can be found at the Lost Children tent. If they're not claimed by the end of the day, they will be destroyed.
Welcome to Megabus. Things haven't worked out quite as well as you were hoping, have they?
Welcome to the sexist supermarket. Check out number 3.
Okay, get that right. The point's going to Josh Hewitt-Milton.
News of the King of Pop, the news of the King... you have heard this, I presume, somewhere. This is the news of the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, is dead. The 50-year-old star died suddenly following a cardiac arrest and was just weeks away from his This Is It tour in London. His death has left millions of fans in mourning. One devastated fan said, "I was at Disneyland when I heard he died. I didn't want to believe it. It was only when Mickey Mouse confirmed it to me that I accepted it."
You know how in the future everyone will say, "Oh, do you remember where you were when Michael Jackson died?" Almost everybody will be able to answer, "I was texting a joke about Michael Jackson." Even the doctor that was announcing that he died had a look across his face like, "I've got one." He touched millions of fans. People are going to love this.
But you could there was a bloke on the radio, I was listening on 5 Live or something, he said, brilliant, he said, "I'm really glad that he didn't do those 50 nights at the O2 because I think they would have killed him."
People reacted to his death very differently, didn't they? I mean, like Jermaine Jackson was on the news saying that he wished that he'd died instead. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And I reacted differently. I wished that he'd died as well.
There are, now that he's dead, 13 singles in the top 40. So the Spice Girls, they know what they've got to do, don't they?
When they found him, they said that he was face down on the floor next to the bed. And they didn't call an ambulance for 50 minutes because they just thought he was looking for the other glove.
It can't have been easy, though, for them to actually work out he was ill, can it? Because let's face it, he's been looking pale for 20 years.
Yeah, but come on. I genuinely think the symptoms of a massive cardiac arrest are more than... You're looking a bit pale there,
You seem to forget. We're forgetting, though, that the guy was a genius. Like, he wrote some of the best records of our generation. Thriller is still the best-selling album of all time.
I think you'll find Glenn Miller wrote some of the best records of my generation.
OK, of my generation. But, no, the guy was a genius. I mean, what black man can produce 3 white kids? It's amazing. Frankie's got a better chance of being their dad than Michael.
You're right, though, Gene. If that is the case, they're in real trouble. Yeah. A choice between Michael and Frankie.
Sorry, kids, a bit of a change of location for you. You're going to live with Uncle Frankie now.
What, after staying with Michael Jackson? It's all got to be up from there, hasn't it? Do you know the weirdest thing about Michael Jackson? I didn't even know this. He was a Jehovah's Witness. That's like the least weird thing about him. I bet when he went to the Jehovah's Witness meetings, they pretended not to be in. Michael, turn the telly down.
Although he did look like someone who wouldn't have a blood transfusion, didn't he?
I think people generally, because they loved his music so much, they were willing to forgive him what he got up to in his private life. So there's a lesson in there, isn't there? For Gary Glitter, write better songs.
But the memorial had a huge number of stars. You know, Stevie Wonder, Mariah Carey, Lionel Richie. Oh, yeah, and the kid from Britain's Got Talent. I love it.
Hey, they gave Stevie Wonder a seat in the front row.
Wait, you got to wait 10 minutes for him to walk all the way from the back of the theatre. Next up, Stevie Wonder. Come on, Stevie, we haven't all day here. I'll be with you in a minute. Weaving his way, like in the middle of the row. Sorry, excuse me, sorry, I'm on the...
You know that they said they'd had thousands of volunteers to be pallbearers at Michael Jackson's funeral? I bet they did. Where were they when Barry White died?
One of the best stories about this, I don't know if you read this, was that Bubbles has been banned from the funeral because he's too violent. That's a fantastic story, isn't it? But surely Michael Jackson's dad's going, who beat him up for 20 years, and yet a monkey who likes to throw his poo around a bit much. But they didn't even tell him because they didn't want to upset him. He's a monkey! As if he sat there going, no. You see, banana, num, num. When did we start telling pets? Somebody must have made the decision, like, Michael's dead, somebody better tell the tigers. Do you reckon they'll do that with David Blunkett? If he pegs it, someone better tell his dog. He's gone, David. No!
I think the dog will sense the dead weight on the lead.
Yeah.
I think he should have left Bubbles to Diana Ross. Because it's great. He left the three kids to Diana Ross and she didn't know. That's a... They're going to turn up and she's going to go, what is it, trick or treat? No, we always wear these. Right?
He's left his kids to Diana Ross.
She doesn't know. It's like,
he didn't
we should all do it. Let's all put that in our... Like, it's be like Rick rolling.
It would be great, though, if we did leave everything to Diana Ross, if everyone in the world got together, just leaving anything, you know, like a bugle or a flute, just so that she'd be sat there going, this is ridiculous. I feel like I'm in the middle of a chain reaction.
Do you think? Do you think for parenting, if they're misbehaving, you just go, stop, in the name of love?
When I was actually, seriously, when I was like, I suppose when I was about 8 or 9, I was a massive Michael Jackson fan, and I wish I'd known at the time that I was his type. You know the conspiracy theory at the minute? There's a conspiracy theory already that Michael Jackson faked his own death. If he faked his death, where could he go in the world that he would blend in? Does Cornwall even have a police force?
Isn't it odd that Michael Jackson's dancing deteriorated as he got whiter and whiter?
Now we play a round called Wheel O News. This game involves Ed, Andy, Frankie and Joe, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is a stand-up challenge. Our random news generator contains a bank of topics. We spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it's landed on. The winner is the team I judge who produced the funniest material. OK, here we go. Let's have the first topic, please. And the first topic is that bullying? Who wants to come in on bullying? Ed.
I'll say bullying. Bullying, serious problem. Obviously, there's a lot of problems in the world, but it's OK, because wristbands are sorting them all out. Them ribbons were useless, but the wristband was on the case to save the day. But my favourite wristband is the anti-bullying wristband, because footballers like Wayne Rooney, people like that wearing it, that kids were getting beaten up at school for their anti-bullying wristbands. And that's just beautiful. I'm just so glad that never happened to me when I was at school, because I could imagine myself trying to reason with the bully as he beat me up for my anti-bullying wristband. Like, no, but that's my... Oh, the irony. You're only fooling yourself. You may take my wristband, but your actions will never mirror the sentiments it represents.
Well done, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is drugs. Who wants to come in on that? Andy.
So, drugs. The Home Office have in fact clarified apparently how many spliffs you can have on your person before you might be regarded as a dealer. Apparently, the answer is 500. That's a fair amount of personal use, isn't it? You would have thought you could have 500 almost anything on you and be regarded as a dealer. If I had 500 hobnobs on me, I think you could regard me as pushing biscuits. Not that I know that much about drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, the current trend amongst young people is to have an upper followed straight away by a downer just to take the edge off it. Why not just take a bit less of the upper? That, to me, would be like having a Red Bull and then having a Horlicks straight away afterwards.
Well done, Andy.
OK, that leaves us with Frankie and Joe. The next topic is... OK, living with terror. Who's going to come up on that?
Well, obviously, that's how my husband describes our marriage, but, how's the country been since the terrorist attacks here? Well, I mean, when I go out of London on tour, people are always saying to me, what's it like driving around London now? And I say, dunno, it's a bit hard to see out of my armoured personnel carrier. But, you know, I thought it was really important after all that happened to get sort of straight back on the tube and show solidarity with other Londoners. So 2 days later, went straight back on the tube, quite scared, got into the carriage, thought, oh, what's going to happen? But it was brilliant, actually. This bloke got up straight away and offered me his seat, which was fantastic, because I've never driven a tube train before.
Well done, Joe Brown.
I like the way that on that picture there, the dog's looking for something, the bloke's looking for something. It's on the top, the bloody idiots.
Frankie, let's see what topic you've been left with. Look at you, it's the Labour cabinet.
John Reid's got a stupid new idea. He wants to make criminals pay compensation to their victims. What if they've not got any money? I'm going to do community service for them. Hey, I'm here to do your garden. Remember me? I murdered your husband. He's wanting to force through ID cards. Now, ID cards don't mean that your identity won't be stolen. It just means that once it's stolen, you're screwed. You know, I've left my wallet in the hotel. I'm going to need new eyeballs and a finger transplant.
Thank you very much, Frankie Boyle. I think the points go to Frankie and Ed on that round. Come back.
How was Brown's week?
Pretty tricky. To be honest, let's be honest, Brown couldn't get more unpopular if he recorded a song with James Blunt called I Like to Kill Puppies with Hammers.
Yeah, just get his cock out. John Prescott came out, didn't he? John Prescott said, well, he's irreplaceable. We have no one with the talent to replace Brown. Get a 10-pin. Yeah, I sorted out the credit crunch. I lowered interest rates. But where do you make the coffee?
You know, the Tories aren't going to... the Tories are loving this, presumably.
Yeah.
They can't even attack Brown at this stage because he's so weak.
He's
it would actually look like bullying if they tried to make any points again.
When they did the Glasgow East by-election, the Tories, they couldn't attack Labour, but what they wanted to do was to get as few votes as possible so that the SNP would beat Labour. So Cameron turned up in Glasgow and said, Scottish people are too fat because you drink too much. And it's all your own fault. So he just sort of turned up and went, hello, Scotland, you fat bastards. But actually, their party political broadcast in Scotland was just Cameron with Kenny Dalglish in a headlock, punching him in the face with the slogan, remember, Scotland, we own you.
So amidst all these general calls for his head, what is Brown doing now?
He's on holiday.
Yes, he is.
He's gone to Suffolk.
Now, admittedly, by the way, we're not saying he immediately went on holiday. They're all on holiday now.
It's a scheduled vacation.
They attacked what he was wearing. Did you see that? They attacked. They're going, oh, you know, why is he not wearing shorts and a T-shirt?
Yeah.
What do they want him in, like a Borat-style mankini?
sorry, but I think that's the best photo I've ever seen of Gordon Brown.
Absolutely.
I think he looks really cool.
I think he looks
like George Clooney.
What are we criticising them for? It's not like they can go and have a normal holiday.
Yeah.
You're not going to vote for someone who goes to Corfu and spit roasts an overweight club rep.
It's hard to have a normal holiday. Like, have you heard, even in Southwold, they're planning a human chain on the promenade to protest against Brown. Imagine that. How lame is that? Oh, I'm not going to the promenade, there's a human chain. I think in this country we're just really bad at, like, kicking off. There's a fuel crisis, and I watched it on TV, and he said, here in the queue, there's talk of riots. How can you have talk of riots in a queue? Right, we're going to riot, we're going to do it in alphabetical order. Oh, I nearly rioted out of turn, then.
I think that's a brilliant idea, because I think holidays are supposed to be relaxing. They're just the most stressful thing in the world. Just leaving your home is so filled with stress, because you suddenly feel that you have to unplug everything. You suddenly feel your television will blow up in your absence, despite the fact that no one's ever heard of a television blowing up when someone's holidaying. You sleep safe and sound at bed in night, not thinking my TV could blow up. And then before you go on, have you unplugged the TV? And you unplug everything in your home, except the fridge. We trust the fridge. What is it about the fridge? You think the fridge wouldn't do this to me?
It's romance.
Ladies, in bed, I like to spoon. Anybody else do heroin? Am I guilty of being romantic? You be the judge. A bottle of champagne on ice, the dulcet voice of Luther Vandross fills the air. A trail of rose petals lead to a bed on which I'm lying naked. Bedroom door slowly opens, and I whisper those 3 special words. Happy birthday, Dad. When women see me naked, they say I look like a Greek god. Hermaphrodite? What's he, What's he doing? I like my women the way I like my skis, rented. With a little wax on their bottom. I'm a very lucky man. I have an amazing wife who has given me 3 incredible blowjobs. Romance.
Thank you very much. And the topic is family. Sure.
Before I rock the microphone, I want to I want to dedicate my performance to my father, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there. I'll tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of 3. My parents are both older, and I have mixed-race parents. My father prefers the 100 meters, and my mother's Pakistani. I was raised by my father. My mother left before I was born, and you know... I like being raised by my father. He's schizophrenic, but he's good people. I remember one summer I was 5 and he was Mussolini. Went to the park that day. I love parks. Standing in the park today wondering, why does a Frisbee appear larger the closer it gets? And then it hit me. My uncle's a hypnotist who has never inappropriately touched me. I have to leave now. I'm a member of Overactors Anonymous, and we have an Overactors Anonymous meeting that starts in...
And the topic is school.
You are looking at a very proud Canadian who's very proud of the education system in Canada. I was horrible in school. I failed math so many times I can't even count. I preferred French over chemistry because the chemistry teacher and I just didn't have any, rapport. One teacher said I'd be a better student if I spent less time flirting. I immediately jumped off his lap. One teacher used to always say I wasn't very observant, but you know what? That was his or her opinion. I was going to join the debating team, but someone talked me out of it. In high school, I was voted most likely to reminisce.
And it's relationships.
I like my women the way I like my coffee, picked by migrant workers. No, I've got a girlfriend. I've been going out with my girlfriend for... sex? My girlfriend actually thinks I'm incapable of being faithful. My wife, on the other hand, hates that joke. And I'm not ashamed of my wife. If you don't believe me, go to the car and ask her. Ask her loud. She's in the boot. Is my wife dissatisfied with my body? A tiny part of me says yes. I was previously married. I married way too young. A Chinese girl, that's her name. I remember... Way too young was so beautiful. Fab Cook, too. That was her cousin. She was hot, too. It was a good-looking family. It's thought that most men's sexual fantasy is to be involved in a threesome. And I thought it was mine until recently. I was involved in a threesome. And I'll be honest with you, my friends, I didn't like it. Halfway through, I stopped and said, listen, Rick, Jim.
The next topic is health.
Ooh, that was a long walk. Okay, health. Money-wise, I'm set for life, provided I die next Tuesday. Ladies, I wasn't circumcised, I was circumnavigated. Just because I have arthritis doesn't mean I can't live a normal whole. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, but you know what they say. Unfortunately for agoraphobics, the cure is just around the corner. My manic-depressive buddy was attacked by a bipolar bear. The therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. My neighbor's in the Guinness Book of Records. He's had 43 concussions. He lives very close. In fact, just a stone's throw away, but the point. To your health, my friends.
The subject is marriage. Who wants to come into that? Stuart.
I'm not married. If I was married, would I be able to do this? For that long? I am married. My wife and I met at a castanet class where we clicked. That's not entirely funny. No, we actually met in the museum, and the rest is history. 14 more. No, we actually met at a driving range where we hit it off. Can't be true. No, we actually met in a library. That's novel. Ooh. No, actually, Wayne Rooney introduced us. It was a no-brainer. I'm only kidding. I'm not married. I am married. That's why I'm wearing the ring. Oh, no. It must have fallen off in that hooker. Anybody who's married knows what I'm talking about when I say this, that you really find out about someone after you marry them. Like, for example, my wife doesn't have a peanut allergy. No, it turns out she has a penis. That's That's it. She has a penis.
Topic is jobs.
Ever since my best friend became a mime, I haven't heard from him. Still has my leotard. At first, I didn't believe my father stole from his job as a lollipop man, but all the signs were there. I used to be a panto horse, but I quit while I was ahead. I worked in produce, which wasn't exactly rocket salad. I used to sell dining room chairs under the table. I worked in China repairing typewriters. I didn't like the job, but I met lots of characters. I worked in a sweatshop. It was so-so. I started a VD clinic from scratch. My topic is jobs. My work is over.
And the topic is family.
I'm homesick. Does my wife think I'm a control freak? I haven't decided yet. She used to hate that joke. Now she loves it. The other night there at a party, my wife got drunk and told everyone she invented the echo. I said, listen to yourself. I'm not thrilled that my wife's into bondage, but my hands are tied. Pretty woman. I call her Dollface because she's so pretty. And she's missing an eye. I think we were both on bumper cars when I first caught my wife's eye. Now, we actually met at a sushi restaurant, and last week we went back for old time's sake. Actually, I don't think it's pronounced that way.
Thank you very much, your father. Okay, it's work. Who is going to that? Where you go, Stuart?
I don't think I got the job at Microsoft. They haven't responded to my telegram. I used to be a mime. It's only now I can talk about it. I was a trapeze artist, but I was let go. I was a trampoline salesman, off and on. I made clown shoes, which was no small feat. I quit my job as a taxidermist for doing a half-assed job. Surprisingly, as an accountant, I was fired after only... half an hour. I quit my job at the helium gas factory. I refuse to be spoken to in that tone.
Okay, the topic is leisure.
What's the deal with train spotters? I counted 27 of the losers today. My record's 41. My dad has a weird hobby. He collects empty bottles, which sounds so much better than alcoholic. I want to write a mystery novel. Or do I? I've written a book about a transsexual with a speech impediment. It's titled Man or Myth. I like to go to bookstores and say to the clerk, hello, I'm looking for a book titled How to Deal with Rejection Without Killing. spare time, I like to fart on crowded lifts, which is wrong on so many levels.
And the topic is jobs. Where you go?
Was my French teacher into golden showers? Oui. I'm a Canadian comedian, but if people think I'm Russian, Soviet. As a gynecologist, I was terrified of vaginas. I won't go into it. Very sad, I've just come back from the funeral of my coke dealer. I was fired as a Boy Scout leader. I wasn't prepared for that. I used to be a sarcastic high jump coach. Get over it! I used to be a professional table tennis player in Southeast Asia, and recently I went back for a big party. Oh, it was a real Hong Kong ping-pong ding-dong. Then someone fired up the old karaoke machine. Oh, it was a real Hong Kong ping-pong ding-dong sing-song. Then someone rang the doorbell. Cops. It was the cops. I used to be a cop. One night a guy asked me if he could urinate on my wrist. I said, not on my watch.
Thank you very much. Good night!
The next round is called Between the Lines. Rory and Hugh, can you make your way to our Mock the Week press pit? In this round, one player takes the role of a famous person making a speech, while the other says what they really mean. Rory, you are George W. Bush making his TV address to the nation. Hugh, tell us what he's really saying.
My fellow Americans.
People of Florida.
2 years ago, I declared that hostilities in Iraq were over.
Unfortunately, nobody told the other side.
See, we proved them wrong in Iraq. They said there was no link between Iraq and Al-Qaeda.
There is now.
What people have to understand is the problem was essentially our lack of intelligence.
People have to understand the problem is essentially my lack of intelligence.
See, problem is people keep putting words in my mouth.
Imagine what it would be like if they didn't.
Well, we will stay in Iraq until the job is done.
We will stay in Iraq until the oil is finished.
Very good. Both of you, congratulations. Rory and you. Points for everyone. Sit down. Our next round is called This Is the Answer. What is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Nathan, which category would you like?
Home news, please.
OK, your category is home news. The answer is trains, toilets and celebrities. What is the question?
Is it, if you're going to make a sex tape on public transport, what 3 things do you need?
What 3 flavours come through when you're tasting English wine?
Is it, according to the coalition agreement, what 3 things do the Lib Dems have responsibility for?
Is it name 3 things I've left my umbrella in?
Is it 3 things you're probably best off not to lick clean?
Is it, what is the name of Thomas the Tank Engine's no-holds-barred autobiography?
Is it what Peter Andre says when he's asked what his daily routine is?
celebrities!
Is it what? Is it what?
Is it high-pitched but not Australian anymore?
Our trains! Our toilets are celebrities!
I went to a voice coach to get rid of my Australian accent, and I can't help thinking she's done something wrong.
I've been over in this country for a while, so I sometimes slip into both fucking accents. Our trains got them a six-pack. I don't miss my jeans. And then obviously the celebrities are making the money for the kids.
Does anyone have another answer?
What do we do better than Morocco?
OK, can we have correct answer?
I think I've got it.
Oh, it's not the build-up to the correct answer, but go on.
Is it name 3 things I've puked up on at the Edinburgh Festival?
I know the answer, Dara. I'll give you the real answer, Dara.
Will you give me the real answer?
What are the 3 main talking points on a saga holiday?
Is it?
Is it 3 things that are full of shit?
I'm the Peter Andre thing. About that. Where it makes the money for the children. That was it.
Is it?
No.
What 3 things were most complained about at the Queen's Jubilee?
If you can do that in a proper voice.
OK. What 3 things were most What 3 things were most complained about at the Queen's Jubilee?
Very good. Thank you very much, Chris. That's very... Unlikely things to hear at New Year.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and some prawn crackers, thanks.
My New Year's resolution is to try new and interesting ways of doing things. That's why I'm stirring the punch with my cock.
I've just had a glass of this punch.
My prediction for this year is that I will make a high-pitched sound, there will be a buzzing noise, and then I will die.
Oh, I'd murder a bit of turkey.
Happy New Year! Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I want a divorce.
Now it's time for Big Ben. I'll put the music on. Ben, get your kicks off.
Welcome to Hoot and Nanny, the topless bar for the gentleman who prefers the older lady.
Of course I can stay up till 12. I'll just have another Viagra.
Last New Year's party really ended with a bang for me when I drunkenly mistook a party popper for a tampon.
First subject is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And that's a wonderful sleight of hand from the Welsh fly half. He's picked up the loose ball, he's tucked it back in his shorts, and nobody seems to have noticed.
I can see Nico Rosberg's helmet.
Apologies, after 15 years in this job, I've just been told it's not pronounced croquette.
And after that victory, they'll be dancing on the street of Samoa tonight. 100 metres in 4 hours, 26 minutes, and that is metre reading at its very best.
Now, Garry Kasparov, he's going to move his pawn. And he's done it just in time. His wife's home, but he's got it under the bed.
Welcome to beach volleyball. The players are currently getting changed into their kits while their mums hold a towel up in front of them.
And Shane Warne will be laughing on the other side of his face after that surgery.
I'd like to apologise. What you're watching is, in fact, judo, and not, as I said earlier, timed pyjama cuddling.
Well, this should be relatively easy for Rory McIlroy. Oh, how has he done that? All he had to do was say, get a Santander 1, 2, 3 account.
Kasparov toying with his bishop. And oh no, his wife's home, she's caught him!
Ah, that pot was remarkable. But now I've got a major case of the munchies.
We'd just like to refute the idea that the BBC has lost coverage rights of all good sports. We now cross to a girl playing noughts and crosses against a clown.
What a thrilling cricket match.
Left hand, big right hand again, big left hand. Why has no one put these gloves in pairs? What the fuck is a furlong?
OK.
Moving on, what new feature on the phone app Snapchat has become the latest viral trend?
Terrible. It's that thing where you get to turn yourself into another gender.
Yes, that is an app that everyone has become slightly obsessed with, the last one. And will not be obsessed with in 4 days' time. But nonetheless, finger on the pulse.
Everyone's just enchanted with their own image.
But is that it? I mean, because this is like the greatest virus, the greatest non-Game of Thrones, Avengers Endgame thing that's happened in the last little while. Yeah, your photo... Hang on, let me see if we can do this on the feed. Can you pull it up? And then I do...
Oh, no!
Oh, gosh.
What have you done? Just mentioned it. Oh, that's that round head
Turn yourself into Max Headroom.
I don't even know what...
That's so cute.
Oh, yes.
One of the cores.
Even with this filter, the hair is still sort of invisible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you look...
Oh, God.
I'll tell you what... Dara, you look like the Megabus man's wife.
I'm scared if I do it, I'll just look the same.
You're on the female one, so you have to bounce it.
Oh, I look like someone else.
Oh, that's the female.
That is what I look like if I don't pluck my face.
He looks like the sort of man who cuts his own hair.
That's really upsetting.
It is, and you know what? That's why I would never do that, and that's why I don't encourage any of my daughters to do it, because look, I'm from India. You know, we have great hair, not just here. So, honestly, I spend so much on laser and stuff, so I never have to look like my brothers and never have a beard. And then you get this thing, and my daughters think it's funny. I'm like, wait till you're 15.
This is what I'd look like if I got paid 25% more.
Oh, my baby.
Yes. Oh. Has anyone ever wanked over themselves? Reece, I look like your fit mum. Reece!
Real.
I've come to pick you up from school wearing my shortest skirt.
Well, aren't you the cutest little GCSE student?
Oh, hello. There you go. It is me, Ed Gamble. And if I go across a couple, it is me, Rob Beckett.
Turn that round. The points go to Ed, Kerry and Reece. Unlikely things to hear on a property programme.
Next, Cash in the Attic. Tennis player Pat Cash has a nervous breakdown and decides to haunt his estranged family.
Today, we help Al McGrahy swap his one-bedroom cell for a Libyan place in the sun.
This couple's grand design is to turn an abattoir into an old folks' home by changing the sign.
I'm Sarah Beanie and I'm not pregnant.
You can't decide between the two properties? Well, you're an MP. Why don't you claim for them both?
Thing is, I have actually heard that on a property programme in Scotland. And remember, the prices of property can go down as well as plummet.
You know, I said those ghastly beams, what on earth are they for? It turns out they were for holding your house up.
Hello, I'm Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen, and I'm so posh I've actually got a swan for a penis.
Michael has always wanted to live in the country, and now he does. His business has collapsed, and he's living in a caravan in a field in Herefordshire.
Even on a collapsing market, you can still make money from a flat like this. We invited 3 different estate agents to come and value it, then harvested their organs.
Welcome to this episode of Holmes Under the Hammer, where we attack Eamon Holmes with a hammer.
Next on Location, 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 Kirsty and Phil finally go at it like dogs.
And obviously this will all be included in the deal. Oh, my God, he's back early. Quick, out of garden!
Well, we've visited 5 properties so far, but they've all had alarms, so no joy there.
Very spacious and with wonderful views, but this flat is in Dundee, so it might as well be built out of shit.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Sean.
Things you wouldn't hear on a property show.
So, it's a 2 up, 2 down. It's unusual, but those are the testicles I was born with.
So,
Welcome to the show. We'll be looking at houses that have been designed by someone's nan. Yes, it's grand designs.
Of course, finding something in London on your budget was very, very difficult. So this property does come with a bit of a commute. Welcome to Stoke.
All property is theft. Good night.
Bit mean, but we've put together a montage of first-time buyers being told about stamp duty for the first time.
I begged Gary for an extension. He went and got a conservatory. I actually meant a penis enlargement.
This week, Bert has bought a yurt. And that sentence alone makes this the most fun show we've ever done.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Allsop, and this week I'll be patronising more millennials. You can't have dreams and a second bedroom. Wake up.
Well, this used to be a railway station, but there haven't been any trains here for nearly 40 years. It's Haywards Heath on Southern Railway.
And Simon has converted this railway carriage into his very own office, just by yelling into his mobile phone like an arsehole.
This house was built on an ancient burial ground, which is why the episode's been hosted by me, the ghost of a hunchback Victorian boy trying to explain fixed-rate mortgages.
Now, this next property is about £50,000 over Philip and Susan's budget. Luckily, though, Philip's grandmother has just died.
Loads of notorious people live on these here branches. Piers Morgan, Katie Hopkins, Donald Trump. So, what? Escape to the country? No, this is escape to the...
So, if you want to brighten up your kitchen, turn the light on.
Susan turned her two-bedroom house into a 10-bedroom house by putting a bed in every room.
I'm Danny Dyer. Welcome to Let's Do This Gaff Up.
Well, there you go. Immediately, you can see how much roomier it looks without the old lady and the oxygen cylinders.
This is a power move. One power move is to sit and eat when you're in a tete-a-tete with someone. Another is lunging. Like, look how you feel now. We're kind of having an argument. What about now? Then you know karate's on its way.
Was it to eat? Was the other one, was it?
Do it. Yeah. Okay.
He's got 3 phones. I know he's the president. He's got 3 phones. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
He might have 3 phone calls.
Fair enough. In fairness, you think, though, he might have a secretary or one phone that was capable of taking many lives.
So, yeah, it does seem unusual that he's going, I don't know, I'll try to find out. I can somebody else on the phone here. He's not happy with it. Wait a minute, wait on the line. Both of you wait on the line. I'm going to ring the other number. This isn't working for me.
With Obama's foot on the desk, I think it'd be funny if a comedian on a panel show were to say, so Barack here, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. I think that would be funny if a comedian on a panel show. I think it'd be funny.
And speaking of the college, what is France's position of that?
Doggy style. I've been there.
Okay.
Well, can...
Next topic.
Yeah, because that topic's settled. The answer is £100 a day. What is the question?
Is it according to the Sun, how much does the average beggar make a day?
You're ruining by saying a day when it's already got a day in the answer.
Is it? Let me have another crack at that
The repetition of a day. Say it without a day and I'll watch.
What's happening?
Well, I was just about
Hang on
to.
a minute. Ed's turned into like the Microsoft paperclip. He's trying to write his letter. You're doing it wrong.
Are you doing a list?
According to the Sun, right, what does a beggar earn?
But we are apparently in the middle of a countryside crime wave. Have you seen this?
If I lived in the country, I'd be delighted if someone did a crime, because I'd be bored out of my mind. Thank God you've turned up with a shotgun to steal my rhubarb. Could you kill me on the way out?
Some bloke sold rhubarb from an allotment. You have to
tag it.
Just
Why don't they tag it?
Imagine the phone call. Just some deranged. They've taken it. It's gone. My prize-winning marrow. Is there no God? You have. Surely you have to
just
feel
put rhubarb down his sleeves and then go.
Had I been there, well, you can't ever feel sorry for the. That's the lowest rung of criminality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Let me finish. Just. I'm going to kill myself here.
Beautiful. Vintage mock the week. He brought up the subject just so someone else could do a joke on it. Surely he might have been working towards a punchline. You ignorant.
Jesus. I think the Marcus will get a higher chair for the joke umpire.
I have a feeling the Microsoft paperclip's taken some cocaine. But... I like it.
That's great. Little animation of the paper go. Good, yeah. That's a really good letter.
The point I was going to make is, surely, right, fellas, but surely if you're a bank robber, you're sexy, you're dangerous, you can get diamonds for your lover. If you steal from allotments, what hope have you got, you know? You've got dirt underneath your fingernails. All you have to offer is broccoli. You know?
Hey, a woman who's going to have sex for broccoli is going to be dirty.
I was wondering if one of the reasons they were trying to steal...
Wouldn't that be... Hang on, sorry to interrupt you, Andy, but wouldn't that be the...
Frankly, I wish to go on the record and say I have now lost control.